Spaceballs 2 was announced. That's right, Spaceballs 2, which in my opinion is one of, if not the greatest parody comedy of all time. Mel Brooks, who is currently 90, what is he, 98 years old right now? Almost 99. I think he's due to be 99 in a couple months. This man is one of the greatest comedy writers of all time. When you take a look at his works that he's done, whether it's Blazing Saddles, History of the World, Spaceballs, The Producers, so many other works that he's done, he is a comedic genius. Young Frankenstein, comedic genius. When he made Spaceballs back in the 80s, it was to parody not just Star Wars, but Star Trek and all of those kind of sci-fi fantasy films that were out at the time. Obviously, there's a lot that is taken from Star Wars, which was fantastic. Being a big Star Wars fan, I absolutely adored Spaceballs because I could sit back and say, look, I love Star Wars, but this was just a darn good time. It was a darn good time, and I loved it. There's always been a call for a Spaceballs too. Always. Oh, there's always been a call asking Mel Brooks, when are you going to make another one? When are you going to make another one? When are you going to make another one? And let's not forget, he played two roles in the film. So it's always been like, come on, man. When he did a remake of a film of his, because he did a movie called The Producers, which is also a play on, I believe it was on Broadway. I don't know if it still is, but it's a play. He made a film version of it back in like the 70s with Gene Wilder, and then he did a remake of it in the 2000s with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, which I absolutely love. I adore that film. It's hilarious. It was kind of like, look, why are you going back and remaking movies? Just make Spaceballs 2. Come on, man. And then he did a sequel to History of the World just a few years ago. So it was kind of like, oh man, it's got to be coming, right? It has to come. It's got to be coming. Well, it wasn't long ago that they then started talking like, yeah, we're looking and mulling over the idea of making Spaceballs 2, where we're just getting everything together. We're going to see if we can make it work. The big problem with Spaceballs, though, is one of the main actors in the film is Rick Moranis. Now, Rick Moranis, comedic genius as an actor. Comedic genius. I mean, you take a look at his work from Ghostbusters to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids to Spaceballs to Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, there's so much that he has done that is just fantastic. But he retired in like the mid to late 90s. And it was an honorable thing for what he did. I mean, he didn't retire because he was like, I'm sick of Hollywood. I'm sick of the acting. I'm sick of the gig, blah, 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 all that stuff. I felt like I did everything. It wasn't because of that. His family went through a tragedy. He lost his wife and he wanted to be there for his kids. And he retired to be there for his kids. So he's been retired for 30 years at this point. Now, he did pop up in a commercial with Ryan Reynolds for Mint Mobile. And it was kind of like, oh man, he's back. Is he going to be back? When they were talking about redoing Ghostbusters, when they did Ghostbusters Afterlife and then Frozen Empire and everything, it was kind of like, oh, is this going to be where Rick Moranis comes out of retirement? It was kind of like, oh, this got to be it, right? And then he didn't come out of retirement. But then when you start talking about Spaceballs, I mean, he was the villain. He was the bad guy. He was one of the main characters in that movie. You can't make a Spaceballs 2 without him. So it was like, okay, are they going to do it? Are they going to get Rick Moranis out of retirement here? Well, yes, they have. Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement officially to be in Spaceballs 2. That had to be what was holding everything up, right? Well, I mean, they don't really say, but that has to be it. Not only that, but they're bringing Bill Pullman back into it, who was another main character in the original. But alongside Bill Pullman, they're bringing in Kiki Williams. She's in it. And Bill Pullman's son, Lewis Pullman, who you may have recently seen in Thunderbolts as Sentry. He will be playing, I believe, the son of Bill Pullman's character in the movie. I am over the moon about this. And the teaser that they did for this film is was on point, was absolutely on point. It was just a long scroll similar to that of the Star Wars scroll, which they did in the first Spaceballs. And they just went through like 30 years. We had this and this and this and this and this. And they even did a little jab at DC, DCU attempt number one, DCU attempt number two, an animated Lion King, a live action Lion King. And like they just went through all of it and it was hilarious. Fantastic. Like that is Mel Brooks. And in this day and age, I personally I hope Mel Brooks doesn't fall into the like not taking chances with his jokes type of thing, like his comedy. Like stay true to who he is as a writer and an artist and just go for it. Just go for it because that's the beauty of what his comedies were. If you go back and watch his comedies from the 70s and 80s, it was unapologetically just crude and what we needed at the time. And you a lot of people will say you can't make those movies today, but I ask why not? Because there's no reason why you can't make those movies today. The only reason why people say you can't make those movies today is because they have too tight of panties on and they're afraid of what they'll hear. Who cares? It's comedy. And it's supposed to be uncomfortable sometimes. It's supposed to be funny sometimes. And that's the whole point of it. So I hope Mel Brooks goes that route. I hope he sticks to his guns and goes that route. Now, I'm not saying Spaceballs was totally like that. Now, like Blazing Saddles, History of the World, they were more in that raunchy, uncomfortable range when it comes to the comedy. Spaceballs was a little more lighthearted and more fun, but it could get there at times. So I hope they go that route, and I hope they stick to that because it's just a lot of fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. I am so excited about this. I hope it doesn't disappoint. And you just sit there and think it's coming out in 2027. Mel Brooks, he's going to be 100, 101 basically when this movie comes out. Absolutely crazy. He's going to play one of the characters at least that he played in the original, which is Yogurt. I can't wait. I can't wait. But let me know your thoughts. I think this is fantastic. It's exciting. I don't know if you can tell by my excitement how excited I am for this. Did I say Kiki Williams? Maybe Kiki Palmer. That's what it is. Not Williams Palmer, I think. Anyways, regardless, I'm excited. I'm over the moon about this. I cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.